Hi, I'm Weird Heather and welcome to today's video. So my garden has changed a lot since the last time I saw you. So I'm going to take you around and we're going to have a look at some stuff. And so without further ado, let's get started. I think we'll start over here with my beautiful tomato plants. They've kind of grown just a little bit, and this is the hacked back version that looks less like a jungle. So you can see I have a ton of flowers everywhere. Just a little tip for those if you're growing tomatoes, it increases pollination if you just kind of jiggle your flowers about a little bit. See that little cone thing there? All your pollen is in there, along with the anther that the pollen needs to get onto to be fertilised. So if you just shake it around a little bit, then it helps pollination. Variety is indigo cherry drop, and look how purple that is already. It's so beautiful. This purple is actually from a compound called anthocyanin, which is the same thing that makes blueberries blue. It's very good for you. Down here we have a very, very dark bit. They just go dark wherever they hit the sun. This one is my yellow delight. You can see it's more of a kind of, is that a plum or a grape shape? But yeah, they will turn yellow when they're done. Just right here is the much famed sun gold F1. And you can see they make long trusses with many, many fruits on them. So honestly, I just cannot wait to taste that one. Then this tiny specimen over here is my blue fire. It's the runt of the litter when it comes to tomatoes. It did have some flowers on, if I can just find them. Oh, here we go. It's got some flowers on, but it's the only one that doesn't actually have any fruit on it yet. This is a dwarf runner bean. I believe the variety is Millionaire. You can see I've got some tagetes, you know, the French marigolds in here. This is a rather bug-eaten calendula. Got a dwarf bean in there. I think that might be Purple Queen. Yep, Purple Queen. Got another dwarf bean over here, which I don't actually know what it is because I can't find the marker. Ah, this one's the red swan. And then I did have another. Here we go. I knew I had another one over here. And this one is a borlotti bean. If I can just get my tomato off of it. I do have a bean on that. It's supposed to be stripy. But obviously with the tomatoes on it, the sun can't get to it to do that. And as for this fine giant over here, this is actually one of my bush squashes, and I'm so proud of it. It's just so huge. This one is actually the silver dust. Yeah, silver dust F1. It makes like this little round winter squash. So I'm really looking forward to trying those out when they're ready. You can see why it's called silver dust, because they have these beautiful silver looking leaves, which I must admit I did panic when I first saw the colour, and I thought it was powdery mildew, but it wasn't. So, and inside we have squash flowers. They're so beautiful. I've seen a lot of people actually wondering how to tell the difference between male and female flowers on a squash. So I'm just going to show you real quick. Do you see how this one has a circular shape at the bottom? So a squash flower that's female will have a mini version of whatever the squash is just at the bottom there. Whereas a male flower will have just like this one, it'll just have the stem and then the flower. So do you see the difference there? That one, stem, then flower. And then this one that's open, it's got that little round fruit and then the flower. It's got that little round fruit and then the flower. This one was actually pollinated a few days ago, so that flower's all drying up now. So yeah, I anticipate having a lot of squash. This is actually a bush butternut. It's not doing too well. I will be very surprised if I manage to get anything off of this before the frosts come. Oh my god, it grows so slowly. I kind of got impatient, so I started planting little nasturtiums in with it. And oh my gosh, are they not the cutest tiny little leaves? I don't think that one is a nasturtium. That might be a dandelion, actually. Just move that. That one's a nasturtium, though. Got a patty pan squash over here, which has got some little flower buds growing at the base there. So this one is Sunburst F1. It's a bright yellow patty pan. My only other courgette is here. This is the one that I grew last year. It's called Denise Fruit Ronde, or Little Round of Nice. I think that roughly translates as. And hooray, it's open. Hooray. So she'll get some nice little courgettes off of that. It's just in with my broad beans. The remnants of those. I have picked a whole bunch off of this already. So I think these plants will be coming out before too long, because they're starting to get a little the worse for wear now. And behind me here we have my potato jungle. I have just given up all hope at this point on just trying to control that. It just goes everywhere. So I'll just show you that a little better. This one at the back is burgundy red, Highland burgundy red, which is a very pretty looking red potato. This one is, I think, the salad blue, and then somewhere under this mat of leaves the Aran gold ones should be forming. And I just saw a wasp over there. Why is a wasp living in my potatoes? I don't want a guard wasp living in my potatoes. Apparently I now have a guard wasp living in my potatoes, which is slightly disturbing. I much preferred the guard spider that was there a few days ago. So whilst I'm here, I can show you my herb table. It's doing quite well, actually. Got my beautiful lavender just there, which you can see is all flowering nicely. My tricolour sage, I planted this here. There's no real plant to it, but when I look from out the window, the purple on this with the purple of the lavender, it's very beautiful and pleasing to me. And that bloody wasp is by the herb table now. Grr. This is my chocolate mint, and my god, this stuff smells heavenly. Oh my god, that smells so nice. Like seriously, I wish you could smell this stuff right here. It's so good. Just behind the mint, we have finally some comfrey starting to grow, which is good because I just didn't think that was going to grow. This is the garlic chive space, which has steadfastly refused to grow. This is the normal chives space, which is growing a tiny bit. Over here, I've just got some spring onions that I put in there. And over here is a red kind of perennial oniony. I don't know, it looks like a spring onion. I don't know if they're all perennial. but apparently it forms clumps, and then you can just pull onions off of the clumps and then leave the rest, which is cool because I'm getting more into the whole perennial garden thing. I just recently found out that you can grow garlic as a perennial, or at least certainly with the hardneck kinds you can. So that sounds kind of cool because apparently it just all grows in like a clump if you just leave the whole bulb in there, and then you can just separate out bits every spring that you want to grow into like full-size bulbs, and then just leave the clump in the corner to make pretty little flowerscapes, which is cool. I like that idea. I like the idea of never having to buy seed garlic ever again. I like the idea that... Oh, God, that wasp. Damn it, I'm going to have a heart attack before I'm done filming this. Yeah, I like the idea of not having to buy seed garlic. I like the idea of just being able to do things in a more sustainable way. So, yeah, moving on from obvious wasp territory. Check out one of my dahlia flowers. Oh, I like this one. This one is really beautiful. I've got some more. These look nothing like what they were supposed to look like on the packet. So, Grower Wilco's. But luckily they do still look beautiful enough that I'm not mad about it. Over here is one of my onion sets that has went to flower. But I think that's pretty, so I'm not mad about that. This is, I think, an osteospermum. I've got various onions or possibly garlic. I did plant garlic in here, but I don't know what happened to it. Over there is some hyssop that I planted there just because I have no place else to put it. This is the bottom of a spring onion from the shops that I'm regrowing. We've got another dahlia here that is just taking over. Believe it or not, this has been trimmed one time already. Got some Nepeta cataria here, more commonly known as catnip or catmint. And then just on the bottom here, we have a variegated Nepeta variety, which is kind of trailing and looks a lot like ivy, and is actually is rooting all in that bed. So I'm going to have a bed full of this next year, it would appear. These are my Jerusalem artichokes. I'm so proud of these. All of these grew from just 2 tubers that my partner brought me from the farm shop. They're getting this black stuff on their leaves. So I've taken a few leaves off already. I don't know if I should just take off everything that has this on, because it's not going to have very many leaves if I do that. This down here and this over here are regular sunflowers. So you can see how small they are compared to how small the Jerusalem artichokes are. It's not been a great year for sunflowers. Most of the ones I planted just haven't grown. Moving slightly to the left, I've now planted some corn. I'm growing popping corn this year. So this is either Fiesta or Glass Gem. I've got a little baby pumpkin over here, which is a baby bicolour pumpkin called Batwing. And then I have another one, which is a white baby pumpkin over here, called Baby Boo. I've got random carrots and radishes. They were all neatly planted, but then my cat decided to use this bed as a litter tray, which is why there's all pots in it now to kind of fill up the space and make it less appealing as a litter tray. I've got some peas and beans that did manage to survive the onslaught, one of which looks like it might just be about to come into flower there. So should be able to pick some more peas off of that soon. Over here we have my strawberry production lab. So I've got some runners there which I'm rooting. These are the mother plants. There's 2 different kinds of strawberries, and I think this one over here is a pineberry, and there's one that I'm just waiting for it to turn the right colour. I've had to mulch this with shredded paper because the strawberries were just laying down on the soil and rotting, which was no good because you can't eat strawberries once they start to rot. Up here we have my poppies, my wild poppies, which have now gone to seed. And then my teasel. I planted some wild teasel seeds in here as well. And you can see from the prickly leaves that they are doing beautifully right now. I've got several kinds of mint. This is black peppermint. I am not 100% convinced that this is not the same plant as chocolate mint, because it looks the same. Over here we have what is supposed to be ginger mint, but ginger mint is supposed to be variegated, and this is not. So I don't know if it's ginger mint that isn't expressing its variegation, or if it's a completely different kind of mint and just the tags got mixed up in the nursery, because it wouldn't be the first time that had happened. And then I've got some nice lemon mint at the front. Up here I have my red vein sorrel, which is really pretty and it's like really nice tasting. In here I have a mixed Andean superfood salad from Mr. Fothergill's. It's got all different pretty colour leaves. And up here, this is salad again, mesclun mix, this one. And this has grown like really, really fast. So I'm quite impressed with this. I only planted the seeds for this a few weeks ago. Then we have my blackcurrant, which something is eating that. Can't see any berries, so I guess it's maybe not going to fruit this year. We have some very bedraggled looking osteospermum daisies, but the great thing about these ones is they are actually making seeds, which is great. Just see if I can find one to show you. Right, you see these? These were once upon a time daisies like this. Those little green things there, the little green balls, they are baby seeds, and they will eventually turn brown and fall out if I don't manage to harvest them. I've never had plants from the nursery before that have made seeds, so I'm so excited to see if I can grow these next year. And there's like literally a ton of them. Look, there's more there. There's some here growing, some in the middle of there. The only one that's not producing seeds is this red one, but I mean, that's fine. If all the seeds are producing except for just that one, that's still a pretty good rate, I think. Oh, they're so beautiful, these. I really do love osteospermum daisies. Then lastly, we have, these are straw flowers that I planted. So I did plant them super late, so I don't know if they'll get big enough to flower, but hopefully they will. This is a candy cane sweet pepper. They have stripy fruits and they have variegated foliage, which you can see there. It does look very beautiful. I am kind of a sucker for variegated foliage. And you can just see it's making buds. Oh, it's making some big buds there. So they will become fruits shortly. This one is a mini bell chocolate. So it's a chocolate bell chili. So, yay! Look forward to my first peppers off of that. This is sweet banana. It's another sweet pepper. Got it from the nursery plant. I thought it was a hot one, so that's my bad. But hey, it's another chili. I'm not too mad at that. It's not doing that well, really, as a plant. I mean, it's getting eaten a lot, so that ain't going to help. But yeah, it is what it is. This is a dwarf tomato. It's a potato leafed variety. Got a little bit of, I think, sun damage. The variety is a black zebra, which is cool because I've never seen a dwarf black tomato. And this one is supposed to be a little bit stripy, so I'm quite excited to see what that does when it gets a little bigger. And then this one over here is actually the black zebra. So what was this one? Sorry, the potato leaf one was black sailor, and the regular leafed one was the black zebra. So, yay! I do so love tomatoes. Bloody cat on the compost bin. He fell through that lid yesterday. It's only flimsy plastic. And still, he doesn't learn. He still wants to get up on there. So, that was my garden tour for today. I hope you enjoyed. It was probably quite funny when the wasp was like trying to get me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.